Hi, I'm Devin Simmons, and for my persuasive speech, I'll be talking about should college athletes be paid? And I believe they should be. Not all college students, but the big major Division One football and Division One basketball, because these are the biggest money producing sports in the nation today. My first thing that I actually like to speak about is the finances that these sports are bringing in. To give you an idea, CBS Network has signed a $10.8 billion deal with the NCAA for March Madness from 2010 to 2024. That's a huge amount of money for a few years just to show March Madness. If you don't know what March Madness is the month of basketball, which is a huge tournament where people sign their brackets, they make their brackets and everything for who's going to win the championship. It's just a huge tournament in March. Another big deal is a 4-year deal ESPN signed with the BCS for football, which the deal was $500 million. Another huge amount of money just for these small time deals. Um, some of the Also, another aspect is the sacrifices that these athletes have been making, and some people don't realize. Being a college athlete myself, I, the sacrifice that you make, your family, you don't get to see many of your family or friends while you're at school unless they're on the football team. Simply because you don't have time anywhere else besides the classroom. All you get to see is the weight room, and the classroom, and then your room late at night. That's all you really get to see. And then holidays, you miss some holidays because if your team goes to the postseason, then you've lost some of your holidays because you have obligations to the football team that you must fulfill. Another aspect is my process that I believe that could make this work. Instead of just giving out just scholarships and the convincing kind of recruiting process on how coaches just try to talk up their schools and try to make it seem like their school is the best option for you because they do it for everyone that they want. Why not just give these athletes a contract, kind of? I'm not saying a ton of money should be poured into these athletes, but I mean they should be rewarded for what they have to give and sacrifice. Just maybe along with a scholarship, tack on a few $1,000s for spending money for a semester or a year. I believe that'll teach them also how to finance their money early on, especially the players that might make it to the NFL, because you hear a lot that first round draft picks to the NFL are making millions of dollars, and then once the season comes in, they're what they're known as a bust, a college athlete that didn't live up to the expectations that everyone thought they were. They were a really good athlete in college, but just can't compete at the next level. And if the person makes it to the NFL, then they can have that idea of, oh, I know how to spend my money now because I've done this before. It's with a little bit more, but I know how to budget it. The only really true issue I see with this whole thing would be the Title IX law. Now, for those who don't know, the Title IX law it was passed 40 years ago, which stated the guarantee of women that they have the equal athletic opportunity in college. They have to be equal with the men's. But another thing that counteracts that is universities are paying way more money for their men's sports than their women's. It's just a fact. Some people don't want to hear it, but it's a fact. They're pouring in so much more money than women's sports. And look at the ratings for the games. The attendance level skyrockets. Also, I'd like to show you a few of the coaches' salaries that I found online. These are some of the top coaching salaries. Mac Brown for Texas, he's making $5.1 million. That's a huge amount for just college coaches. Nick Saban, Alabama, 4.6. Bob Stoops, $4 million. This is outrageous amounts of money for these college coaches, which they are a huge aspect, but so are the players, and I believe they should get a piece of that. That's why I believe that college students should be paid. If you look at the finances that they bring in, the sacrifices, and an easy process that could fulfill the whole thing, and I believe that college students should be paid.